Now it's time for International Press Review, and for that we're joined in studio by Nicholas RUSHWORTH. Nicholas, we're going to start with a story that's just emerged in our news bulletin, certainly, this reported killing of Abou Zeid, the Al-Qaeda commander.
Hello to you, Karen, this Friday. Yes, indeed, and I will go straight to the Algerian papers. And one of them, Al-Khabar, is reporting that this took place in an air raid in a mountain area in northern Mali, carried out by French forces, and it may have resulted in the death of Abou Zeid. Now, he is the leader of one of the most powerful brigades of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, that's ACME. Now, another paper, Echourouk, is saying that there's been no DNA test on the body that's been discovered. What it does say, though, is that it has the material it needs. The government, the authorities have the material that they need in terms of DNA testing, because they've got it from Abou Zeid's family.
And it was reported, it was 3 days ago this killing happened. A report that has been taken up by Le Monde here in France.
Well, Le Monde is speaking in the affirmative. It is saying that Abou Zeid has been killed. There you can see the headline, a été tué. So that's not may have been, it is he has been killed, and it's saying that took place just north of the town of Kidal, and that 43 fighters were killed in addition to him. So that's what's in the Le Monde story there.
Now to another of the top stories that we're not surprised the papers are covering today, given yesterday's historic departure, the Pope.
Well,
the former Pope, should I say.
Well, of course, now he's called Pope Emeritus, isn't he?
Exactly.
So he has a special
title. Or
title.
just Benedict, I think. Maybe he might just want to go by an informal Benedict, you never know.
Or Joseph Ratzinger, indeed. But I turn to the Rome papers, to the Italians' papers. Il Tempo is looking at him. Of course, it's reporting on his journey from the Holy See, 22 kilometres to the coast, to Lake Albano and the resort of Castel Gandolfo. There you can see the headline for Il Tempo, Sono un pellegrino, I am a pilgrim. Now, thousands waited for him in the resort of Castel Gandolfo. You can see the piece there in Il Tempo. And he made his last speech 2 minutes long. His very last words were Buona Notte, good night. And I kind of felt reading that thinking he must be exhausted.
He needs a good sleep after all those farewells and
he's
kisses.
Probably still sleeping. And so that's very much the mood. Another nice little snippet in that piece was that he can see the sea from Castel Gandolfo. So that will be giving him a bit more relaxation.
And certainly taking into consideration the amount of Catholics following the Pope around the world. You're looking at the Philippine Daily Inquirer, and in the Philippines certainly they would have such a huge following, a Catholic following.
Well, of course, there are, 1.2 billion Catholics.
Total, yeah.
75 million of them are in the Philippines. So I was curious to see
Quite
what the reaction there would be. You can see the front page of the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Now, yes, we see the head of the former Pope turned away from us. And what do we see? We see a cardinal. And so each country is going to be putting forward their man on the block. And this is the cardinal, I'll get his name right, Archbishop Luis Antonio Cardinal Tagle. Now, he is a favourite for the Filipinos to become a pope, and he's emerging as a sort of Asian super candidate if a European isn't chosen. So, of course, everyone's going to be looking about who will be the next pope.
Absolutely.
Now, to move on, I just want to stick with Italy, because we've had this whole thing, haven't we, about what's this explosion in Italian politics. The election's extraordinary. Now, Bersani, the leader of the left, who has a smidgen advance over Berlusconi, has, in the last few moments, actually, spoken to the paper La Repubblica, which is saying, he's saying there will be no grand coalition in
We're not really surprised by that. I don't think forming with Berlusconi was ever in his agenda, perhaps.
Yeah, I want to. There are obviously lots of spaghetti bowl politics going on, or spaghetti western even. I want to finish actually on the China Daily, which is taking a look at this whole question of the Italian political scene. And this cartoon, look at this. The whole world is watching, and it's being tripped up by this spaghetti bowl of Italian
certainly
politics.
Italy in the spotlight for lots of reasons at the moment, not just the negative, but certainly the Pope's departure as well. That was your International Press Review.